is up? It's Joe Ready from Ready's Rise. I'm back here at Tampa Honda, and of course, another great vehicle. They have such an awesome selection that we're gonna bring to you. This is a 2019 Honda Civic Sport Touring. So a few years ago, Honda decided, you know what? We need to add some more excitement back to our car lineup. And they took many of their designs that kind of got a little bland, were a little long in the tooth, and they decided to just throw everything at it when it came to styling to grab people's attention and really make it a 21st century car for people to want to have. The wonderful thing about the Civic, it's sort of like going to Baskin Robbins. There's so many different flavors of ice cream at Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors. It's almost as many options when it comes to the Honda Civic. You could get it in a sedan, you could get it in a coupe, you could get it in a hatchback. If you want some performance, you could sprinkle a little SI on your sedan or your coupe. If you want to go crazy nuts, you could get a Type R in a hatchback form. This is, like I said, a sport touring, and it really, I think, fits in at a good price point for people and a great design for usability for people who don't want to go to the extreme. So let's go ahead. We're going to dive right into this 2019 Honda Civic Sport Touring Hatchback, and it's sort of like a little bit of the same music, just done a little bit differently. So I love the styling of the headlights. You have the LED running lights and turn signals. We're going to zonk it like we've done on the whole Civic lineup from Type R down to the base Civics. The fake vents. Now, somebody mentioned this vent is functional. In a way, it is, but it's not what you think. It's not meant to flow air through this opening. The horn is behind there, and government regulations says it has to be a certain decibel, so what they did was they knocked a couple out so that that horn sound could pass through that fake vent. You have the LED lights finished in gloss black with a flat black center. I do like, even though this is fake, I like the way this is flat rather than all gloss like on the Type R and whatnot. Just enough on the Civic Sport here, just enough of a little bit of a lip spoiler on the corner. I like the way it does that because it looks like it blends back in nicely. Then you see it once again in the center, and then it kind of hides back and comes back out in the corner. Lots of gloss black. So if you're not a fan of shiny black plastic, the front of this Civic, any of them, is not going to be your cup of tea, like my grandmother used to say, because it's going to get pretty beaten up from road debris and whatnot. Sitting here in the sun, the silver with the black, it really sparkles nice, and I like the overall balance of the color. When you go up under the hood, I think it was so wise for them to do two body lines. You got a nice central one here that has it raised, and then on the edges you got very nice high peaks. Really gives it some personality to a car in that compact car segment. As we wrap it around to the side, nicely done wheels. I think this wheel design, if you put it on a different car, you'd say it was bland, but on this one it works. It's an 18-inch in diameter. You have the gloss black and the brushed aluminum. Very nicely done for this particular paint job and everything. I really like it. As we go to the mirrors, you can see the LEDs, turn signals, that beautiful silver, and you also have that corner camera, which is such a Honda ingenious idea when you go and you make that right-hand turn. As we go up onto the roof, if you like sunroofs, you can get it in this. Remember, Type R, you can't get a sunroof. And if you want an SI, you can't get it in a hatchback, only coupe and sedan. So it's nice that on the Sport Touring, you have the sunroof. Really love the body lines of the Civic on the side. I like the way that they went gloss black to blend it in with the front on the side sill down there, all the way to the rear. That nice four-door style in the hatch. Now what's interesting is up on the roof, you're gonna get some similarity to the Type R. Same raised area, a little bit different what's going on past that area. You have a very low spoiler, and I'm glad that they didn't do anything too crazy and kind of kept it a little bit more contained, because if you want to go full out craziness, the Type R, it's sitting right inside the showroom. They got two of them. Here's that second wing. So you have one up here, air comes down, air is going to go over, air is going to come under because that is not connected. Once we drop down, here's the other zonk again, just like the other Civics. Let's just pull the Band-Aid off. These have got to go. If this was all silver or something, I think it would look so much better, or at least smaller. And then there's that gloss black diffuser all the way across. I actually like the style of the twin exhaust on the back of the Civic Sport Touring hatchback. Very nicely done. And another thing that's great about these Civics when it comes to the rear end, I like the taillights. They're not a lobster claw, they're not the stapler, and from a mile away, you could tell that you're coming up behind a Civic. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what's gonna greet us underneath there. All right guys, hood is popped on this 2019 Civic Sport Touring. There is that 1.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. It's putting out 180 horsepower. The downside to this is that it's connected to a CVT transmission. We're gonna take it out for a spin soon, and we're gonna see just how efficient that CVT is. 0 to 60 though, if you're wondering about times on this particular car, you're looking at 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds, quarter mile in 15.3 seconds. Obviously it's front wheel drive. The car weighs right around 3,000 pounds. I think the most phenomenal thing about it is if this is gonna be your daily driver, in the city, 30 miles of the gallon, of course 33, 34 on the highway, and a very attractive package overall that really stands out amongst the other compact car crowds. Let's go ahead and fire this up and see what it sounds like. All right guys, time to come check out inside this 2019 Civic Sport Touring trim. So obviously it's gonna have a lot of the bells and whistles. Let's go to the door panels. Now there is a lot of black, but you know what? I'm liking it. There's a lot of faux leather on the back portion of the door panel. You have some faux leather on the armrest. The problem is that the armrest is hard as a rock. I wish they would just spare a little padding, for God's sakes, and put them on the door panel. As you can see, the hand of God pushing that door closed a little bit, making it a challenge for Big Guns McGee. But let's go to the dash. I like the soft material everywhere. That faux carbon fiber, it looks good. It looks like real dry weave carbon fiber. Coming to the infotainment system, very clear. Good size 7-inch screen. You have your navigation. You're able to get through. The graphics are so nice on it. You have a volume knob. I know that was a big thing. People were so upset about that. They were writing hate mail to Honda. Where's the volume knob? Nobody wanted to hit the screen. You have your AC controls. Very nicely done. It's dual climate in here. Remember, at the touring level, it's going to be dual climate. It tells you what the actual temp is across the top. Heated seats. Nice cubby. And then you have the dual plane. So you have a cubby down here where you can plug in your phone or run the cord through and just have it plugged right there. This is what's going to be shifting that CVT transmission. Nice leather. I like the leather boot. If I'm going to zonk it, it's the fake buttons. I wish they could put something different just to kind of smooth that out. And it is a little bit of the harder plastic that's just flat black. But it's nothing too crazy that is going to really draw a lot of zonks to that area. The zonks are in the armrests. I hate these armrests, even covered in faux leather. I do like the way that it slides, and you have a really great space in here for your cup holders. I'm going to challenge Tom, and if you watch this, you have your cup holders, but then say you go get that Super Slurpee, they're having a sale or something. Look how deep that goes all the way down there, and you have another USB in there. My advice is drink the Slurpee first, throw out the trash, then plug in your device, because Super Slurpees, they kind of sweat a lot once they're sitting for a while, and we don't want to get water in there. The seats, it seems like, just like Tom was saying, any Honda we get into, the seats are always comfy. I like the leather. I like the faux carbon fiber design into it. Just makes it sporty, and you know, it kind of makes sense because this is a Honda Civic Sport hatchback. Sunroof, lots of room. Don't feel cramped at all, even though it's a compact car. Lots of elbow space. I just wish they would put some padding here. I feel like I have to go buy a memory foam pillow and zip tie it to the armrest so that I could be comfortable. Why don't you come on over to the driver's side and I'll show you what's happening behind the business end, behind this wheel over here. Come on over. All right, guys, business time. Power seat, 8-way adjustable, so you're going to be able to contour fit this thing exactly to your body. Love the size and the shape of the steering wheel. Still not digging these buttons. I wish they would just go thumb drive, thumb wheel across the whole lineup from Civic to Accord to CR-V and everything in between. I like the digital display, very clear graphic. You have your tachometer there across the top. You can see the tachometer needle go up and down as I press on the loud pedal. You have a digital speedometer, and then of course you can go through different features in the center as you use your little toggle buttons here, which is nice to have. You know, you could go through compass and all that kind of stuff. You do have paddles, even though there's technically not gears in the gearbox because a CVT isn't a gearbox, it's a transmission. You still have simulated shifts that you could use. Pretty good sized paddle. Obviously they're made out of plastic, but I think 9 out of 10 times people are not going to use those. Seating position is great. Like I was telling you with the headroom, lots of space. Let's go ahead and see how cramped the back seat is, if it is cramped in a Honda Civic hatchback. Let's go check it out. All right guys, back seat time of the Honda Civic hatchback. Pretty spacious back here. Remember, this is a compact car and still very spacious. Even with the sloping roof as it goes over my head down the back, it doesn't make you feel claustrophobic or cramped. The seats are comfortable. I like the style of the back of the seat. You can see how they cut out the notches. This is what I'm always telling you about, how they cut out the notches so that you have a little bit more leg room. You got a really large pocket here for any kind of, you could fit a laptop in here, no problem. Here's my only complaint. You have heated seats, which is great. I'm gonna zonk it though. Can I trade these for some USB jacks back here? Because we all know if you have passengers, especially kids, and their devices go dead, they start to complain. Having them heat up their seats isn't gonna help them one bit, unless you're in Antarctica, which if you are, I'd like to do a review of that car out there if you fly me out there. But so that's what I would zonk. I would zonk those USBs. When it comes to the seats, full leather, the armrests, look at this. Do you see what I'm doing here? Memory foam, soft. Why can't they use this in the other armrests? This thing, I'm telling you, I want to almost rip it out and use it as a pillow at home. That's how soft it is. Simple cup holders. You don't need anything complicated. Goes right back. Let's go ahead and probably check out one of the most impressive parts of the car, that cargo area underneath the hatch. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, time to check out underneath the hatchback. Very simple, all keyless entry. I'm telling you, this puts my Ford Focus RS to shame. Tons of space here. You go to Costco, you could buy the biggest bottles of mayonnaise and fit them back here, no problem. The seats are gonna do a nice 60-40 split. My only zonk is where they put the lever. I don't like having it all the way on top of the seat. I wish they would have some type of pull lever or push button, but once they go down, they fold down very nice, very flat, lots of space width-wise. Let me show you something interesting that the Honda engineers had to come up with. Because of the design of the hatch, they couldn't have a regular security shade here, so this one actually comes across like that, and then the second part stays permanent to the back. Now you can take it down if you want to, but you leave it like that, and then when you close it, there it is. Nobody's peeking at your Christmas gifts. Nobody's wondering, hey, should I break into this Honda Civic because there's something special in there? Everything is hidden. But if you're ready, let's go ahead and take this one for a spin. As we're rolling out of Tampa Honda, we're in the 2019 Honda Civic Si Touring. Right away, that CVT, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really the biggest fan of CVTs, but Honda does something different. We did a review on the CR-V. We're doing this one with a CVT. It acts differently than any other CVT that I've done before. Now, I do have it in sport mode. The shifter, if you notice, when we were showing you earlier, there was drive. I'm in sport right now. It actually feels like it's very responsive. So let me go ahead and we're gonna try to get around this garbage truck here. Roll into it. I'm shocked. We've driven a lot of other cars from other manufacturers that have CVT. There's that really cool corner camera there whenever you're changing lanes. But the other CVTs seem very sloppy. This is very direct and it's instantaneous. The boost from that 1.5 liter turbocharged engine, very progressive, very linear. You're not waiting for the boost to come in one day soon. It hits you very, very low in the RPM range, which is a great plus. All right, guys, so just pulling away from a light, nice and smooth. It's very, very instantaneous. Tipping in this right-hand bend here on the throttle. Really not bad. I'm telling you, this car is surprising. Like I said, you're not going to win any drag light races at your normal regular stoplight, but you know, for 0 to 66.9 seconds, it isn't a slouch by any means, and it's just very smooth and very linear. And I think that's the thing that overall people are going to like. I love the thickness of the wheel. I like the way there's this contrast stitching around the inside of it, and the dash is very easy to read as well. You put it into eco mode if you wanted to. I like the way they call it econ. Reminds me of economics. That's one class I'm glad I never taught, really. I did 1 year and I didn't like it very much, and I know the students didn't like it very much, but overall, it's a Honda, so the fit and finish is great. Where you're touching, the materials are nice, just not really the comfiest. I like the dual plane here when it comes to storage on the bottom, storage on the top. AC controls are very simple to understand and to modulate through. It shows you your blower speed, comes up on the screen and everything. Go back to home. There's your different options and choices and whatnot, and then you could slide through. So if you want to go into instrument panel, you could configure the instrument panel in different ways and whatnot, but we'll just leave it in navigation mode. Let me go ahead and put in just regular drive and see if there's much of a difference between drive and sport here. We'll go ahead and get on the gas a little bit. There is a difference. That initial pickup, it seems when I go into sport, if you notice, it brings the RPM up. So in drive, cruising around, I'm doing about 2,000 RPM. As soon as I drop it, it brings the RPMs up another 500 revs. So that just shows that this is doing something to make it more responsive when you're ready to roll on the throttle. Visibility is great. Out that back window, piece of cake. Front window is the same, and the mirrors are great. Plus with that corner camera, really like that setup. Soaks up the bumps. It's not harsh. It's a good in between, and you do feel sporty in it. The way that it rides, the way that it steers, and whatnot. So that's a nice feeling to have. All right, guys, making a turn here on the throttle. Over that bump, very nice. The car handles very well. It's very flat, even around that right-hand bend there. So it is going to give you good feedback through the front wheels, because remember, with a front-wheel drive car, you're asking a lot of those tires to grip and to also brake, accelerate. All that's happening on the front end, and it really did handle it very well. Even though we're not in a Type R. Type R obviously is on a different level, but we're not going to talk about that. If you're wondering MSRP on this, MSRP is fully loaded the way that you see, around $29,000. So you do have different levels that you could come in price point wise if that is out of your budget. But this is a car that is going to give you that sporty feel. It's also going to give you a great return on miles per gallon. I mean, 30 in the city. When I saw that, I almost thought that I was having a vision problem or something, because that's a lot of miles per gallon in the city, especially from a car that's turbocharged. So we're gonna go ahead and make a right-hand turn here. Do a little acceleration. Really not bad. Remember, it's 180 horsepower, so it's not as much horsepower as the Civic Si. Civic Si has 205 horsepower, and then of course the Type R has 306 horsepower. But it's a nice in between, something different than just like 140 horsepower commuter car or something like that. So that's the really nice thing. And I like the Sport. I'm just gonna leave it in Sport because that's where I really like the throttle how responsive it is and whatnot. So that's a nice plus. All right, guys, let me go ahead and do a little acceleration. The car gets out of its own way, so you know, it really starts to build up some steam as that boost keeps building and building. And you know, for a car that weighs 3,000 pounds, it's very, very agile and light on its feet. It just feels good. I mean, the car, it's a fun little car to drive around and go about your daily routine, your daily business, and you have plenty of room in the back to put just about anything that you want and need, or need to go get. So that's the really nice feature. But hopefully this was enough to give you a little bit more understanding about your options when it comes to the Civic, especially the hatchback. And we're gonna wrap this up at Tampa Honda, so we'll see you in a few seconds. All right, guys, been another amazing day here at Tampa Honda. Definitely got to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Christian and the whole staff here. They're just so accommodating. If you're in the market for a Honda, definitely give Christian a call. He is an amazing guy and really is a great supporter of Rady's Rides. If these are the types of cars you like to see on Rady's Rides, all different types of compact cars, Honda pulling off a variety like they always do, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you. Thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you haven't checked out my different forms of social media, all Rady's Rides original content all the time. If you want some merch, click that link in the description, takes you right to Spreadshirt. We got to give it up for Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner, getting ready for his next powerlifting competition, eating at the dealership, his own dietary plan, everything weighted. So thank you, Tom, for all your hard work to your body, your mind, and to Rady's Rides. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.